Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being a part of this today, Facebook Live. We so appreciate you taking the time out of your day. My name is Sandra. I'm a coach here at VA Claims Insider. I'm here with my friend and coach Rachelle Seaberry as well.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Coach Sandra. Happy to be here with you today.
Same. Nothing. I'm like I said, I am a coach here at VA Claims Insider. I have to say it's truly been an honor to be part of this organization. This organization wholeheartedly focuses on assisting veterans to obtain the disability compensation that they deserve. The focus is on you. The focus is on assisting you. Hence our time here with you today. And if you are an elite member, you know we do a lot of the classes every day. Our Zoom meetings, we do a lot of that as well. So we do tend to give you our time and assistance to help you through this process.
Yes, and with that, Coach Sandra and I are very few non-veterans. So we are, fully in support of the cause that VA Claims Insider offers, and it's all about the education and process with us here. So today we're going to be covering some important information. So if you have your pen and paper as you're going through the process, definitely worth taking some notes. Otherwise, do you want to kind of welcome some of our veterans that are joining us, share with us what branch you served in, what years you served, where you're coming in from? I'm actually here in Orlando, Florida, and my fellow Floridian here, Coach Sandra.
I'm in Melbourne, Florida, so not far from Rachelle, actually. So yeah, we're close by Eastern time. Yes. And like she said earlier, like Rachelle said, we are both non-veterans. However, my father did serve 23 years in the Air Force. So I'm a proud military brat, lived military and veteran most of my whole life. So
yes, same. I'm a Navy brat as well. My dad served 20 years in the Navy. So grew up bouncing around overseas before he retired here to Florida. And I am a proud Army spouse now. My husband is a lieutenant colonel in the Army, so we are still serving.
Yes, thank you for your service, and thank you all that are here today for your service. So who do we have here with us? Anybody want to check in with us, see where you're from, what military branch, where did you serve, when did you serve? Hi. Hello, Mr. Brian.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. MJ Mundo.
Hello, Mr. Mundo. Little virtual wave there.
Yes, love it. Love it. I didn't know you could do emojis on there. That's great.
Okay, he's here in Orlando, Florida.
Awesome.
Nice.
Close by.
Army Dr. Airborne. John.
Oh.
Army Airborne.
Hi, John.
You're awesome.
For joining us. Oh, Mr. Horace.
Hey, Coach Horace.
Love you back.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Mr. Paramore. He's a U.S. Army, one of my vets. Indeed. Nice to see you here. Who else do we have? Orlando does have a lot of veterans out here. I do notice that a lot. How about you out there in Melbourne?
Absolutely. Patrick Air Force Base is literally 30 minutes from where I am. So yes, big Air Force Base, big presence of veterans here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you, John Di Benedetto. Good morning, Willie. Army
vet, Vietnam.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Fly Navy.
Treasure Coast, Florida.
Treasure Coast. Where is that? That's not far from us, obviously.
It's got to be on the coast. Brian Razor, U.S. Army, 91 and 96. Thank you for your service.
Hey, Gabe. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Christian, Navy 9115. Wow.
Wow. Thank you for your service.
Wonderful.
U.S. Navy, Seattle. I love Seattle. Visited recently. Beautiful out there. U.S. Army 99-03. Gunter Blanco, Daniel, Air Force 91-2011.
Air Force, yes.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for letting us know where y'all are from. Y'all,
Yeah.
I've acquired the y'all since I've been in Florida. I'm sure many in Texas.
Oh.
Y'all, my daughter is in Auburn now, going to college, and she's talking the y'all to me now. And I'm like, what is that? But thank you again for being with us here. We're going to get started. And today we're going to be talking about and reviewing the commonly used VA forms, right? So knowing what VA form to use and how to use it can sometimes be frustrating. It could be a little bit confusing. So we're going to review those forms and get into that a little bit. We here at VA Claims Insider want you to be as knowledgeable and educated in the VA claims process before and while you are in the process of filing your claim. So we're going to go over some of the most common forms, what they're used for, and we'll review that. And just so you know, each time that you do submit a form and you go to the va.gov to retrieve that form, there are many instructions relating to that form online as well. So we're going to help you answer any questions that you may have as well after we're done presenting. But if you want to start with those questions now, we will then get to those in a little bit. Okay. So
we've got some coaches that are joining us today. So if you do have some pressing questions, just put it in the chat box and I'm sure someone will get to it. All right.
Absolutely.
So yes, to start off, I think it's appropriate to start off with the VA form 21-099. This is 0966. So this form is used to submit an intent to file. Okay. As if you haven't heard VACI say this enough, it is extremely important. The intent to file starts your VA claims process. So it informs the VA that you will be submitting a new claim. Now, keep in mind that this is a new claim for either a new condition or for a condition that has gotten worse. The intent to file process can also be used for VA compensation and pension benefits. So this includes the survivor's pension and dependency and indemnity compensation. When you're completing the form, put enough personal information to identify the veteran or the claimant, right? The general benefit you are seeking, and you or your representative signature. Even if you're not ready to file your claim yet, the VA intent to file process gives you more time to actually prepare and collect the supportive evidence for your claim. So this will give you time to collect either medical evidence, maybe put together a personal statement, ask a buddy who can support your claim, which we'll talk about the buddy statements later, but buddy statement. So with all of this preparation and strategizing, it's extremely beneficial to put in an intent to file. This process will give you up to a year and a chance to receive back pay for the period of time you were still preparing for your claim. It protects the earliest possible effective date for any benefits resulting from your claim. So can't emphasize this enough. File an intent to file claim right now. Lock in your
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, you can only submit one intent to file at a time, but after you submit a completed claim, your intent to file will no longer be active. And if you do expect to file for another general benefit, you should always have an active intent to file in the system. Now, how? Right? There are multiple ways to submit an intent to file. You can do it over the phone. You can call the VA hotline at that 1-800-827-1000 and submit an intent to file with them. You can do it online, va.gov, and go through the first 3 steps of the claim filing and continue to process until the application informs you that your intent to file was successfully submitted. Or download and complete the 21-0966 form. Print and turn in your intent to file by mailing it to the Department of Veterans Affairs Claims Intake Center. Or you can print it and take it to the VA regional office near you. So really simple form, and just sign and submit.
Yes, do that now. Very, very important, the intent to file, right?
Right.
I say that to all my veterans. Do that now. As we're speaking, go online and go ahead and file that intent. So the next form that is one of the most important as well is the 21526EZ. This form is basically the application for disability compensation for your VA disability benefits. You are definitely required to submit this form in order to initiate a claim for service connection and compensation. You can also use this form if you would like to request an increase on an already rated condition that you have. And keep in mind, when you are going through this process to filling out this form, there are two claim processes that you can choose from, which are the fully developed claim, which we call the FDC, and or the standard claim process, right? So when you choose the option of the fully developed claim, and it will ask you that when you are going through this form, you are indicating to the VA that you've already submitted and uploaded all the evidence that you have. You don't have anything else to upload it. You're good to go. And you pick the FDC, the fully developed claim. So you're stating that there is nothing else additional that you want to upload. So you're enabling the VA to make a decision more quickly on that claim. If you select the fully developed claim option and then discover later on, maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, that, oh, I have additional information that I would like to upload on that claim, you can still do so. However, the fully developed claim now becomes a standard claim, right? So it changes to that type of claim. Even if the VA requires additional evidence from you, then it automatically changes to a standard claim as well. If you select the standard claim process, or if it reverts to the standard claim process, this means that the VA has more responsibility to obtain the information required that they're going to need to support that claim. That could mean medical records, treatment records, military records. This is the VA's duty to assist, to do their legwork to obtain that documentation.
Yes, absolutely. The process for this form is usually in turn of filing it online, right? So you have the filing it online process. And for those that like that pen and paper smell, then you've got that form, the 21-526EZ. Now, what we're going to transition to now is supportive evidence, okay? When we're putting a claim together, one of the most commonly used VA forms is the 21-4138, okay? This is the statement in support of claim. Now, personal statements is a statement in support of a claim can be extremely helpful to a claim. Although we know that medical records is the #1 factor when determining if a claim will be service connected, a statement in support of claim can do a number of really great things. One, it's an opportunity to tell the VA examiner and the VA reviewer your firsthand account of your condition, right? Nobody knows your condition better than you. It can also help you assist the rater and evaluator in truly understanding what's in your medical records, even if you do have to draw the map between your records or lack thereof records, it can help fill those gaps in. So whether you're referring to, please see page 25 to 26 of my VA medical records or so forth, this allows you to really draw that line so that your evidence is being reviewed properly in the evidence that you want them to consider for your claim. You want to keep your statement short and sweet, should be anywhere from 3 to 5 paragraphs. Written narrative details the facts and circumstances of an individual VA disability condition. Get to the bottom line. The VA rater doesn't have time to read a novel, okay? Might delay your claim. It should actually specifically identify a couple things. One, the name of the disability you're claiming, identify or explain the approximate time frame your disability began, along with why it should be service connected or why your rating should be increased for conditions already service connected, so specific, right? It should explain your symptoms of your disability in terms of frequency, severity, and duration over time, because that's how they determine your rating. And it's also good to note how your disability is negatively affecting your work, life, and social functioning. Now, it is advised if you're submitting multiple claims to write a statement for each condition if it warrants. Now, because these forms can definitely be considered situational, talk to your coach while you strategize whether this is a form that will help support your claim. Right? But there are other forms of these sort of statements, and we're going to get into those as well.
All right. And if you are going to submit a claim for PTSD, there are forms that will need to be filled out as well for this condition. These forms are the 210781 and the 210781A. So these forms are used to gather information so the VA can find records to verify that in-service stressor for PTSD. These two forms do operate in similar ways. However, they are designed for use with different types of trauma. So the 210781A is specifically for use in cases of stressors related to personal assault. That also includes MST, military sexual trauma, and or physical attacks. Any trauma not related to a personal assault should be reported on a 0781. So there's the difference. Assault, personal assault with the A, the 0781, not a personal assault. One of the trickiest problems with these forms when you fill them out is that you need to remember the date of the incident, right? So if you don't remember the date, it's better to not just randomly write a date in there, because if you do so, the VA is going to use that date to research the event, both the personal or the non-personal. So if you do give a date, they won't find anything, and ultimately it will turn into a denial because they can't find anything to support that claim. So when you do fill these out, try to think back to possibly around the time of month that it was. Was it winter? Was it summer? You can give a vague idea of when the incident occurred, the location, as much information as you can to help them obviously do this research for you. The VA is obligated to search for federal records until the search would prove fruitless. So when you are submitting for the PTSD condition online, if you do not fill out that 0781, sorry, or the 0781A, the VA will eventually ask you to fill it out, right? So this may delay the process because now they're going to email you or they're going to send you a letter and say, hey, I see that you submitted a claim for PTSD, but now you need to submit also this 0781, 0781A. So when you are submitting online, there is a option in there to fill this out. So go ahead and do that at the time that you're submitting your claim. This way you don't have to do it later and it won't delay anything. Something to note, if you have a combat ribbon or Purple Heart or any type of combat medals, you do not have to fill out the 0781. Couple things to keep in mind when filling out for PTSD. Be detailed, be very careful. Memories can be tricky around traumatic events. So when you are in doubt about a detail, just leave it out. Don't put it in there. Just leave that be. Use every part of the form that they do give you to fill out. They give you sufficient space to detail and elaborate, specifically on the 0781A. And then if you have a chance, and if you do know any buddies or anyone that was deployed with you at the same time, see if you can reach out to them for any details that can assist you to support that PTSD claim.
Awesome. Yeah. And that actually transitions us to the next form. The next form is the buddy/lay statements 21-10210. Say it like that, 10210. Now, this is the brand new VA form for lay evidence, after the fact evidence and witness statement, also known as buddy statement. These statements used to be written on the 21-4138 form, but this new form, the 21-10-10, makes more sense for your buddy writing the statement to fill out on your behalf, because it has actual space for them as the claimant. Now, this can be written by a spouse, a family member, friend, coworker, or fellow service member that is at least 18 years old to help back up and validate your story. Like Coach Sandra was saying, if you are filing for that PTSD, I'll get into a situational example as well, as all these forms are specific, right? Those are the types of ways you can see if it would be supportive to include a buddy statement. Now, the purpose is to find someone who can speak to your situation because they have direct knowledge of or witnessed the incident that leads to the disability. Alternatively, they currently know the severity of your disability and how it affects your daily life. Those are, important notes. Now, your statement should include 4 key elements. Part 1, the name, information, and how they know the veteran. So what is the buddy's name and how they know you, how long they've known you. Those are all helpful because it kind of heightens, the validity of it. Part 2, what they witnessed or are witnessing in regard to the event or incident. So that ties and fills in some gaps, right, which these statements should be used for. Part 3, the veteran's current severity of symptoms and any work-life impairment that they observe. Right? So it's a firsthand account of what they've seen, especially if it's a coworker, if they've seen you kind of turn off the lights, complaining about headaches, or if you've called out of work multiple times or left work early, those sorts of claims, instead of it just coming from you, they're solidifying and making it more beneficial for your claim. And then part 4, sign and date your name, certifying that the statement on the form is true and correct to the best of your knowledge. Now, the reason why these forms hold such a value is because of the signature part, right? You're attesting that this is valid and true, okay? Now, a credible and supportive statement can be the catalyst for winning your VA disability claim, especially when you do not have records of critical incidents and events that may have led to an injury. And how common is that for our veterans, Coach Sandra?
Very, yes.
Right? Since it's common to not have any evidence in your active duty service treatment records of your current disability condition, and even most medical facilities, they destroy records after a number of years. In these situations where medical evidence may not be available, these credible statements can help gap the dates of treatment, right? It's extremely helpful in a number of claim strategies. So, like Coach Sandra was saying, in PTSD claims, it can be used to attest that an in-service stressor event occurred, right? If you have no other evidence, if there's no documentation, this can serve that purpose. Verification of a stressor is needed to win a PTSD claim. So a statement could help this claim. Now, or when you returned home from deployment, for example, and didn't seek any treatment, those loved ones who witnessed the changes are the ones that can provide the most credible observations of the veteran's symptoms, where there is a gap in treatment and medical records. Also in claim conditions where the veteran was injured, a buddy statement can be used as direct knowledge of an incident that caused an injury to the veteran. This can help offset the lack of medical evidence from the past. Other than using the lay witness statements to prove something happened, it can also be used to corroborate the severity of a veteran's service condition for an increase, right? Because we're talking about time. So to summarize, lay evidence or a VA lay statement is acceptable for the purpose of establishing service incurrence or aggravation in the absence of service treatment records if the evidence is satisfactory and can prevail in spite of the absence of official records showing incurrence or aggravation of the disease or injury. It is just important to note, of course, medical evidence of a link to a current condition is still needed to establish service connection. So you still would need that nexus. All right.
Indeed. Very important forms. Very, very important. They do have a lot of weight. So definitely use those. The next form that we're going to talk about is if you're new or just starting, the process, the VA Form 10-10EZ. This form is to apply for health benefits through the VA. So you must be enrolled in the VA healthcare system to get care at the VA health facilities, or to have the VA also cover for any care that you need outside of the VA, as long as it's an approved non-VA provider. So if you served in the military service and you were separated under any condition other than dishonorable, you may qualify for the VA healthcare benefits. This form collects information to determine your eligibility. The information that they're going to collect is more than likely your personal information, your address, your social security number, military service information, and your current insurance information as well. So if you have a condition that is service connected currently, the VA will treat you for that service connected condition. However, if you do not, and you do go to the VA for healthcare, more than likely there will be a copay for that. So very important. If you haven't as of yet and you're just starting, go ahead and enroll so that you can see if you're eligible.
Great. Yeah. And that's good to get started in the process, even through any pending claims now. We're going to transition to appeals. So supplemental claim, the 20-09954. This form is used after being denied. You will be given 3 options to appeal the decision through the Rapid Appeals Modernization Program, or the RAMP program, that went into effect in February of 2019. There's the HLR, the higher level review, there's a supplemental claim, and then there's the Court of Appeals for veterans claims. So I'll talk about the supplemental claim, and then Coach Sandra will transition to the HLR, because I'm sure I saw in the chat that some of you guys were asking about these previously denied claims. So if you had been previously denied, strategize with your coach on which would be the best option for you. If you don't have a coach, sign up. If you're thinking about filing a supplemental claim, you're asking the VBA to reconsider your case based on new and relevant medical evidence without a hearing, okay? You could use this option to submit evidence that wasn't previously submitted. This is an excellent place to provide additional medical evidence, one of those buddy letters we previously spoke about, or a sworn statement, which can attest to the service connection or severity of the disability you're claiming, depending on what, was the reasoning behind your denial. So you'll review your decision letter to see which strategy would work best. So that you understand when you can use this option, you must have new and relevant evidence, okay? So new evidence is information that the VA didn't have before the last decision. All right. Relevant evidence is information that could prove or disprove something in your claim. So it has to be new and relevant evidence. To file a supplemental claim, you just need to fill out the Decision Review Request Supplemental Claim Form 20-0995. Say that again, because some of these numbers are just one number off. 20-0995. You're going to select a benefit type in Part 1 on the form, like compensation. In this case, that you're appealing a previously denied condition claim. List the issue you want the VA to review in Part 2. This is the issue you disagree with and the VA decision date of that claim. So in your previous denial letter, what condition they denied, and then the date of that decision letter is what will go in that section. All right, now this can be completed and submitted a couple of ways. You can do this by mail, send the completed form and any supporting documents to the Benefit Office Intake Center. You can bring it in person, completed, just hand it off to the regional benefit office, or by fax, right? Fax your completed form and any new and relevant supporting documents to that 844-531-7818 number. I'm sure someone will put that in the chat for you. Or the option that is fairly new that not too many people know about or is promoted much is the direct upload portal on Access VA. Now, it is a pain to sign into, like most sign-ins. If you don't remember your password, it's probably
you need an ID me password too.
Exactly. Yes.
So if you don't have it, you need one.
Right. So that direct upload portal is that eauth.va.gov/accessva. This is a direct upload portal where you can upload your completed form and any new and relevant supporting documents. So if you just submit new evidence and you don't submit that supplemental claim form, it's just going to get sent back to you. So you must complete that form. And it may take a few days if you do it through that upload portal. It may take a few days for it to show up on va.gov, but after a couple of days, you'll see it as a pending claim. All right. And then you want to transition into the HLR form.
Yes. And also regarding the supplemental or with anything that you submit with the VA, it's always good to check in with them. Maybe a couple days later, 3 days later, just call in that 800-827-1000 and let them know, hey, I submitted a claim or I submitted an appeal or this is the form I submitted, just to ensure that they received it. You never know, but it does give you peace of mind to know that indeed it arrived. And it's going to be worked on. So contrary to the supplemental claim, the higher level review, which is the 200996 form, is also an appeal. However, you cannot add or provide new and relevant evidence. So if you submitted a claim and you were denied this claim and you disagree with the VA on that denial, with their decision, you can request to have a senior viewer, so a senior officer of the VA, take a look at your case. They will review it and they will determine whether the decision can be changed based on a difference of opinion or if there's any errors that were done and they notice that, then more than likely it will be in your favor. So again, with the higher level review, you cannot submit any new evidence. However, you can opt to speak to that higher level review officer and speak your argument, right? Argue and let them know why you feel that the decision that they made was incorrect. So you can tell them pretty much if you've identified any errors that were made during this decision, identify those errors, speak to the reasoning behind why you feel that should be reviewed, and argue your case. And like I said, you do have the option to speak to them directly. The form obviously is a way to submit the request for higher level review, the 200996 form. However, recently, you can actually go on va.gov now and submit the request to for a higher level review. You just go to va.gov. For lack of all the steps, you can actually just go on the search on top there, type in HLR. It brings you straight to the page, and you fill out the information right there and then, and the higher level review request is done pretty much within 5 minutes or less. They do ask you if you do want to speak to a higher level review officer, so make sure that you do notate that you do want to speak to them. And I believe they also ask you what times you are available, so that you know that when that call comes in, you are prepared, you have your notes in front of you, the reasoning behind that decision, and why you believe it was incorrectly decided upon, so that you're ready to go when they do reach out to you. Again, with that form as well, the form can be submitted, like Rachelle just said, online as well, in person. You can fax it in, but the easiest way definitely is va.gov. It won't take you long at all.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. With that, to add on to that, with that online upload, the direct access, direct upload portal that you can also submit, not just the supplemental claims, but also those HLR forms.
Yes.
The difference between, I guess, when you're going through the process of filing a new claim, you can either choose to file a new claim or a condition that has gotten worse, or they give you an option to disagree with a decision. Once you select that button, that rolls you through the process of submitting that HLR. Now, the difference there versus doing a direct upload would be the argument letter, right? If you don't want to talk to the senior reviewer and you want to write an argumentative letter, just kind of saying what was incorrect in the decision letter, what wasn't considered, if a piece of your evidence is listed but it wasn't properly noted, that's something you can argue. If you get with your coach, we've actually got some really great tools in the EEP Plus portal with even some quotable citations that you can put in, should it be reasonable doubt citation or evidence that wasn't considered. So definitely talk with your coach about those two processes, supplemental claims and HLRs, because it is an opportunity to appeal a previously denied decision. You want to make sure that you are putting together a strong appeal. Okay.
And also I wanted to add that once your CMP, your compensation and pension exam, is completed, you can actually ask the VA for a copy of that CMP exam so that you can actually review what that examiner wrote down on that DBQ, the Disability Benefits Questionnaire. So if you were in that CMP exam and you do know that you mentioned specifics regarding your condition, and then you look at that DBQ that the CMP examiner filled out during that exam, and you note that they did not annotate that information, then there's an error right there. Or you can look at anything that they did annotate down in that questionnaire to see if indeed they captured everything that you expressed during that exam, so the CMP exam. So there are ways, there is a way to actually retrieve that information, the CMP exam notes. Ask your coach, or we can actually put it in the chat here in a little bit so that you can reach out to the proper department to get a copy so that you can write your rebuttal letter if needed.
Absolutely. So then, now that we've got the claims and appeals out of the way, we're going to talk a little bit about the declaration of status of dependence. Okay, this you're going to use the form 21-686C. To file for that status of dependence. Now, the VA provides additional monthly compensation. Who doesn't want additional monthly compensation, right? For veterans with qualifying dependents who have a combined disability rating of 30% or higher. Okay, so a lot of people think that the best benefits come when you're at 100%. Well, this is a pretty good one that comes up at 30%, right? Now, qualifying dependents include the following: minor children under the age of 18, right? Children between the ages of 18 and 23 who are still in school. Now, if you are looking to file for a child that's still in school, this will require another form be submitted. It's the VA form 21-674. This is a request for approval of school attendance. Okay, so once you submit that, then you'll be able to get them under your dependents. Also, spouses, that's a given. And then dependent parents. This will require you to submit also in another additional form as well, the VA form 21P, as in Papa, -509. Okay, you would use this form if you're a veteran whose parents are dependent on you for the support. The amount of additional compensation varies. It's based on the type of dependent being claimed and the number of dependents claimed. Okay, so it's very specific. The VA form 21-686C is the application request to add and or remove or a declaration of status of dependence. So the VA uses this form to ensure that a dependent is still eligible for veterans benefits, and this form will require information about the veteran and his or her family. You can submit this form online or mail it in as well. Sometimes I believe you can call it in, Coach Sandra.
Yes,
ask
yes,
you.
Can. Absolutely. And they'll direct you on what you need to do if you need to fill out a form or how to go online and do that. But indeed, you can call as well. That 800-827-1000, the famous VA hotline.
Exactly.
Indeed.
So yeah, I think those were the most commonly used forms that we wanted to share with you all today. We wanted to make sure we had enough time to answer any questions. Hopefully along the ways we were able to address some of those questions, but if there's any that we missed, be happy to do that now.
Yes, indeed. And thank you for listening.
Yes.
So I see a physical therapist, chiropractor, and massage therapist who are willing to write on my behalf. What form should they use? That would be the 10-2-10 form, the one that Coach Rachelle just reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be, and you can find that just by going to va.gov. And again, that form is the 10-10-210.
20-10-210. Yeah, those things.
20-10-210.
Yes, so confusing. But yes, so all of these
can get to you after you say many numbers. You start giving numbers.
Right.
But yes, indeed.
And all of these forms, I know Coach Sandra said, just go on to va.gov and Google it, and it'll pop right up. Also, if you're in the elite program, you do have your EEP Plus portal. If you haven't created an account yet, ask your coach for the link to sign up. We've got a link there to get started if you're not a member yet. But this EEP Plus portal has a section of all the templates. They're actually fillable templates. So whether it be the 10-2-10 or whether it be the personal statement or the forms that Coach Sanders spoke about as far as the 0781A, right? Those are all in there. So definitely, if you can't find it, ask your coach. Any others? I live in Texas. Can I go to the regional office in Waco to get a copy of my C-file? So from what I've been referring my veterans to, I don't know if you've been doing the same thing, Coach Sandra, is filing the FOIA online process. Have you suggested any other methods to retrieving C-files?
No, that is correct. That's what I use as well. So you can obviously call them as well. Mm-hmm. To see what, if there's any other updated methods that they've improved on. Right. You can always call the VA and, obviously say you're requesting that C file. What is the best way to obtain that? And if not the best way, what's the fastest way? Yeah, right? Exactly. Usually the C file, I think the average timing on that may be up to 6 weeks. Right. So if you need that, yes, I would start now. But yes, you can call, and you can also go in person in Texas. Miss here. Hi, Lakina. Mm-hmm. Should I click on the submit files for review? I submitted my claim last July and completed my last CMP exam August 6th. And first filed December 2019. Submit files for review. I'm not understanding. Was this if you had first filed in December 2019, and you submitted your last claim July, are we talking about a appeal? Yes. Yeah. If that's the case, it's going to take some time. The supplemental claims don't happen as fast as. I know they have average times, which I don't like to put out there because I've seen them come back pretty fast and I've seen them take a lot longer than those average times. I don't know. Have you ever suggested you click that button and all of a sudden, poof, a decision is in your queue? It varies. It's, like you said, it's hard to say. It's, now everything is in the VA's hands. They do their due diligence. Mm-hmm. It can take a month. It can take 4 months. It could take a week. I've seen so many different scenarios on turnaround times. I do know on the higher level review appeal, when you do decide that, it can take up to 4 months for a decision to come back to you. I typically see the supplemental claim quicker. However, again, it's really hard to say. It all depends on, we're in the middle of a pandemic again. Right. There's less people working. Exactly. So things are taking a little longer than usual. Yeah. What's important, instead of really, just waiting on something. Okay. So she did mention it's not an appeal. There's a button that says submit.
When we submit or ask for an answer, when you submit your claim, it's because we've put together a fully developed claim, and the waiting game shouldn't be a problem. I mean, it's never fun, right? I know some of my veterans that check it multiple times a day, and I'm just like, listen, we put together a solid claim. We gathered all the medical evidence we needed. So the waiting part is just making sure that they do a thorough review of all the records that you submitted. But aside from that, the button, I don't know how much it speeds up the process, because I've heard about that button.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. What about an adult child with disabilities? That's a good question. I'm honestly not sure. I believe that was Gabe, or maybe not Gabe. It went. I can't find
It went away.
Yeah,
I
it
think
went away.
in time.
Oh, Grayson, I'm sorry. Hi, Grayson. Thank you for your question. I'm not 100% sure on that, Coach Rachelle. I believe so. I think that falls under a different department.
Yeah. There are qualifications, especially like with parents and dependents, that don't meet those ages, the ranges. So the best place, I always say, to get specific advice as far as the qualifications go is call that VA hotline number at 1-800-827-1000. Let them know what the details are of your kid with the disability, and see what they say. Most likely they'll send you another form.
But good question. Is there a time limit to submit a supplemental claim? So yes, 1 year from the denial date of the claim you submitted. So if you submit a claim today and you're denied and you want to appeal that claim, you have 1 year to submit that supplemental claim or higher level review or that appeal.
Yes. What is a C-file? No worries. You missed a good show though, Mr. Farrell. Well, a C-file contains a lot of really great information from your in-service medical records. You've got your DD-214 that comes in that packet. Any previous claims or C&P exams as well, right? So I know you had mentioned you can call in to get a copy of your C&P exam. The C-file also includes those evaluations in there as well, if I'm correct. What else would you say?
Yeah, the VA is going to request the veteran's service records and any medical records that are relevant to that claim. So as your claims progress in time, so does that C-file. So the C-file is basically a collection of all the records that the VA keeps in connection to you, or in your name. So based on your disability claims. So all and everything that they collect as you go forward. So anything pertaining to your claims.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have my mother-in-law living with me. She's 92. Can I claim her like my wife? So parents, you are able to claim your parents if you are the caretakers of them as your dependents, if they rely on you. So there is that form that I spoke about earlier. Which one was it? The VA form 21P509, the dependent parents. Okay. This will allow you to basically, if you can prove that you support them, then that's how they can be approved. Any other questions?
Is it helpful for a private provider to complete the DBQ form or write in a manner that follows those questions? So I would say yes, absolutely. Any medical evidence that you have to support your claim will be in your favor. So if you have a board certified psychologist or a board certified physician or PA or any medical entity that is writing in your favor in regards to that condition, absolutely, it will help you. So yes.
Marcus Martinez said, the mail is so slow these days. It took me 3 weeks to get a 10-day letter from the VA. I asked them to email me the response for my claim, and they did after 10 days. Yes, you're absolutely right. If, for example, you get a decision in the system and you haven't received your decision letter, as long as they've mailed it out within 10 days, you can actually call that VA hotline, that 1-800-827-1000 number, and ask them to email you a copy of that decision letter.
Indeed. And I've heard that a lot lately, Rachelle. That the actual packet is taking a long time to reach.
Yeah, deposits are going faster, which I'm not complaining, right?
Yeah.
You're getting paid before the mail decision comes if you won your claim, which is great news.
Indeed.
All right. Well, it has been an absolute great time hosting this Facebook Live with you, Coach Sandra. I want to invite any of our non-members to, if you want to talk to one of our coaches, maybe schedule your free 30-minute strategy session today. Click the link in the chat. That way you can get signed up and have someone give you a call, see if we fit.
Yeah. Look into your claim process, see if we can help you. It's free, and you'll get a coach like myself or Coach Rachelle. And thank you again for all of you for coming on Facebook Live with us today. We appreciate it. We do this every Wednesday. Each Wednesday is a different topic.
Yes.
So please come back. The more educated you are, absolutely, the more successful you are going to be in going through the claims process. It can be a little frustrating at times. So definitely.
It helps to have someone in your corner. And that's why we're here.
And we love doing this, and we're honored to do it. So please let us know if we can help.
Absolutely.
I think the website was there a second ago, so that you can go on VAClaimsinsider.com, yes, and sign up, see all about it.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Coach Sandra.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day.